YouTube Dog Pound Nation? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the evening rant. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cleveland Browns and some former players I think that might come back and fill some of these glaring holes. You got some former Browns players out there in the free agency pool, and I'm going to name 3 Browns players I think we need to cut ties with. All right, we're going to start with the players that I think we need to let walk out the door because it's just not working out. So before we get into all that, if you're stopping by for the very first time and it's you want to join the family, new channel, Browns fan to another, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like, hit that notification bell, and again, subscribe to the family, hit that like, and hit that bell. Let's get into this. I'm gonna name a few players that I think we have to let walk out the door. All right, it's over, finito. I'm done with the experiments with these players. It just needs to end now. All right, you probably already know who my first one is on the list. It's wide receiver Anthony Schwartz. There's just not a whole lot to say about it. He is horrible. He's not a football player. He's a track star, and it's over. It's not worth it. I mean, from the middle to the end of the year, he was hardly on the field. There was a couple games he didn't even dress, if I remember correctly. Then injuries are it's not going to work out with him. I'm done with it. I've been done with it for a while, honestly, since last year. But you're supposed to give these players 2-3 years to develop, but he's getting worse. All right, so I'm done with that. Got to get rid of him. I'll save a little bit of money. My second guy we have to let go is Jacob Phillips. Linebacker Jacob Phillips. He's another one. He is horrible. Pathetic. I mean, we had linebackers dropping like flies this year, and he had to take the starting role. And, when he did not have a lot on his plate, he actually showed some promise. I mean, he's fast. He's fast. But the dude, he doesn't tackle. He over pursues plays. He's just all over the field. He reacts. He's like 10 seconds too late. So I'm done with that experiment as well. He's another one that has battled a lot of injuries. So that's another one I think we really need to cut ties with. Is Jacob Phillips. Now, my last guy that we have to cut ties with, I wouldn't be upset if we signed him back or brought him back, is Jordan Elliott. All right, again, he's not your every down defensive tackle, but he might be decent enough to have as a a rotational guy for depth at least. But other than that, he's another one I would not be upset to see walk out the door. He was a 3rd round pick. At times he would show promise that he might have a breakout season, but it just never panned out with him as well. So that's it for my 3 guys that I think we need to let walk. Done with. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree, disagree, or if there's any other players you think we need to let walk out the door immediately. Now I do a couple players that I think that we should bring back. There's several out there, but I'm just going to name a couple that I would really love to see the Browns bring back. One of these guys, one of these cats, might not want any part of it due to the circumstances, how he left Cleveland. We'll get to that in a second. But my first guy up on the list is another defensive tackle, Larry Ogunjobi. I think he's a solid defensive tackle. I know a lot of Browns fans and people were saying he was inconsistent, but we were using him wrong. I've always said that we were using him totally wrong. Because if you remember, when we caught him, let him walk, he went to Cincinnati. They used him in the right way. And did you see that boy ball out? You most certainly did. Pro Bowl level. The boy was balling. Balling! So he's another guy I would love to bring back to Cleveland. I think he'd be a great, solid starter for us. He has chemistry here. You probably get him on the cheap. He probably ain't going to be too much. And he anything better than what we had last year. So I like him. What do you guys think? So on to my next guy that I'd like to see really come back is Jabril Peppers. All right, he's a guy that was traded in the Odell Beckham whole saga. He might have some hard feelings. It might be a tough sell to bring him back. He went to the Giants. He played as a top 10 safety his first couple years there. He was there, I think, 3 years, and then he went to the Patriots this past season, which he put up some solid numbers as well. Again, that might be a guy that might not want any part of coming back to Cleveland due to, guys get traded, they feel some kind of way. Can you blame them? No. But hopefully he realizes it was business and, understand the situation at the time. But who knows, So, and it also depends on what we do with John Johnson. All right, if we let John Johnson walk, I would definitely love to bring him in, and I think he'd be a solid safety for us. But I don't know what's going on. 1 minute, it sounds like they're gonna let Johnson walk, and the next minute, he might work out in Schwartz's defense. But here's the thing: when he was with the Rams, John Johnson, when he was with the Rams, that boy balled out. He was playing at a Pro Bowl level, elite, lockdown safety. That boy was balling. Now, 3 solid years with the Rams. Comes to Cleveland, right down the hole. Miscommunication. Just it wasn't working out. And again, you got to ask yourself: was he playing out of position? Was he being used properly in Joe Woods' defense? Which is starting to lead me to believe that we were not using him properly. Because how can you have 3 solid Pro Bowl level seasons with the Rams, come to Cleveland, and you just not had a solid season since you've been here? I find that hard to believe. So maybe Jim Schwartz's defense, he can, turn him around, get his head out of his ass, and bring him back to that high, the playing well at a high level. So, and the other thing is too, I wanted to mention, when we brought Troy Hill over as a slot corner, he was a solid corner with the Rams, right? A couple seasons, he was the top slot corner in the league. We bring him to Cleveland, same thing. Not playing at a high level. Looked pretty poor. So it's starting to lead to believe that Joe Woods was not using these players, to their strengths. Right or wrong. Makes sense, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this whole thing. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree, disagree, or what do you think? Let me know. Also, lastly, another guy, it depends on what happens with Kareem Hunt. That sounds like that's a done deal that he's going to be walking. Dontre Hilliard, he played solid with the Tennessee Titans. If you remember, he was playing at a high level when he did play here in Cleveland as well. He's another free agent out there. I think that if we brought him in, depending on what's going on with the rookie running back we drafted last year, Ford. So we'll see what happens with that. And, got Dearness Johnson. Now, is he coming back this year, or are we letting him walk? But that would be solid. Sorry about that. That'd be a solid addition if, depending on the running back scenario. But that's all I got for now. I'm going to get this out to you guys. Just want to drop a quick video on, regarding these topics. If you, have anything that I missed that you want to throw in there, leave in the comments down below. Also, again, if you're new, stopping by, subscribe, join the family, hit that like. Also, people, have a great rest of your day. God bless, and go Browns!